John Walker & Sons has a hugely proud whisky making tradition. It started back in 1820 by John Walker himself in a small grocer's shop. And in 1934 we were first awarded with the Royal Warrant by King George V. Now that warrant was given to us because of the quality of our craftsmanship and the quality of our whisky. And that's why we're so proud that today we continue to receive the Royal Warrant by Her Majesty the Queen. And that's why it was so important and so appropriate for us to be able to produce something to celebrate the Queen's 60th anniversary as monarch. We're delighted to be able to produce Diamond Jubilee. It really is an extraordinary whisky made with extraordinary care and real craftsmanship. It's something that we feel will really do justice to what is an extraordinary occasion.
The whisky is a blend of malt and grain whiskies. Distilled in 1952, which was the year of the Queen's accession to the throne. Those whiskies are extremely rare.
The real skill is in being able to determine which flavours you can get from the different whiskies, and with that age it can be a particular challenge.
And then when they come together, just to make sure that they're blended in the right proportions to give this wonderful flavour. The whiskies are going to be married in an oak cask, and the oak for these casks has come from Sandringham.
It is handcrafted. No two staves are exactly the same. The tools that the apprentices are using now are tools that were used by generations of coopers before them, handed down. These casks have been uniquely charred by hand.
Burning gives a toasting effect which creates lots of flavour compounds throughout the wood, and this flavour can then be passed onto the whisky.
The end result, the barrel looks beautiful.
We'll be checking the whiskies to make sure that the flavours are developing in the right way, so that when the time comes, it's just going to be perfect.
What makes Baccarat unique is the expertise that has been passed down since 1764. What I enjoy the most is working with hot glass, giving the molten material the desired shape. The touch and sensitivity of the cutter are essential in achieving the diamond cut that ultimately reveals the true brilliance of the facets. We've used 8 of our best workmen of France to make the Diamond Jubilee decanter.
Hamilton and Inches is Scotland's leading jewellers, clockmakers and silversmiths. We also have a royal warrant for silversmithing. We're making various elements for the decanter. They're all in Britannia silver, which is slightly purer than the silver that we normally use.
The 60 diamonds that we're using for this project are all of ½ a carat in weight, all beautiful quality stones. It's a very accurate process to set the diamond. It's done by sight, by feel and knowledge of knowing what you're doing.
I'm a hand engraver, engraving the various designs onto the silver. The trade itself is a very old one and becoming increasingly rare. What I'm doing is producing a work of art which is unique. Each job I do is unique and brings the piece that I'm working on to life, and gives it each a specialness, a one-off.
Once the pieces are made, we take them to the assay office to be tested and hallmarked. And this year there's a special mark being applied for the Diamond Jubilee.
Cumbria Crystal hand makes full lead English crystal. The whole idea was to make sure that the Diamond Jubilee was intrinsic in the design, and 60 years of the royal reign. So we've worked with 6 facets and then a diamond cut feel to the bottom of the glass. It's all hand production artisan skills and craftsmanship in the factory. We've made a brass mould by a very skilled mould maker who's one of the last left in the country. Because they've been so finely cut, you get lovely, sharp, defined edges, so that when you hold it in the hand, you get brilliance and weight from the full lead crystal glass.
I'm a glass engraver and I work by hand, and I've been doing that for nearly 41 years. A few years ago I had the privilege of being given a royal warrant. The equipment I use is a mechanical handheld drill, sometimes diamond tips, sometimes stone tips or wheels, each of which gives a different effect on the glass. On this occasion it will be wildlife that will be found near the Queen's estates, particularly Balmoral in Scotland and Sandringham in Norfolk.
I designed the book to reflect the brilliance of the Diamond Jubilee and also to present the story behind this project and the individual craftsmen. Everything about this book is special, in particular the sewing that I've developed, the structure which is based on both the Coptic binding and also the medieval style in which the stitching was hidden. I've developed it so that it creates a lovely braid on the spine of the book. The blocking machine that I use is a restored, original cast iron blocking machine, and the leather on the book cover is alum Todd, which I chose specifically for its brightness, and it's extremely rare, and only one tannery in Britain still makes this leather.
I'm a calligrapher, and I've benefited from a Quest scholarship. I also hold a royal warrant to Her Majesty The Queen, having been commissioned by the Lord Chamberlain's office for the past decade. As calligrapher on the project, I've created embellished writing, which was letterpressed for the book. Then, as a final touch, I'm personalizing each edition. I'm using hand-dipped pens and an iron gall ink of a type similar to that used by Leonardo da Vinci and Rembrandt. The pen nibs were manufactured in England at the end of the 19th century, and the script is based on a flowing 18th century hand.
J. Stevenson design and make bespoke furniture, and we were very pleased to have been granted a royal warrant as cabinet makers to Her Majesty the Queen. The cabinet is made from the same timber, the same oak from Sandringham that the whisky marrying cask is made from. We were very privileged to be allowed by the Queen to select wood from her own private estate at Balmoral and Sandringham.
The Ballagbuie pine forest is 7,000 years old here on the Balmoral estate, and it's particularly special pine because the wood is very close grained, and that means that you get a lovely finish when it's been machined.
I am dovetailing the 3 drawers which go in each box. On this particular job, because the dovetails are so fine, they have to be done by hand. It's a dying art these days.
Being asked to manufacture the product to the standards we've been asked to do, so with hand-cut dovetails, the marquetry, the inlays, the attention to detail. It's just been a great privilege to be involved.
We're passionate about our craft, the craft of whisky making, and so we're delighted through the donation of the profit from Diamond Jubilee to be able to support other craftspeople in their fields. We're doing that by donating the profit to Quest, the Queen Elizabeth Scholarship Trust, which exists to support and nurture those craftspeople.
This has been a wonderful project to work on. It's brought together 60 of the finest craftsmen and women to produce this wonderful product. Because of the very generous donation that John Walker & Sons will make, it essentially means that our appeal to double the number of scholarships that we provide is assured of success. The John Walker & Sons heritage will last for generations to come, helping talented craftsmen and women to be their best.